What's up YouTube? Welcome back to today's video. First off, hope you're all having a great day today. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about my 2019 Chili Bowl Nationals predictions and who I think is going to take home the Golden Driller. If you guys are new to my channel, I am Tanner Holmes. I'm 15 years old and I race up and down the West Coast in sprint cars and outlaw carts, and I love what I get to do every single weekend. Now, if you've never heard of the Chili Bowl, I'd actually be really surprised if you haven't. But the Chili Bowl Nationals, it happens every single year in Tulsa, Oklahoma in the Tulsa Expo Center. It's a little like 1/5 mile racetrack, maybe a little bit smaller than that, and it is the biggest short track race in the whole entire world. They get over 350 midget entries every single year, and everyone is going after the Golden Driller. The Golden Driller is the trophy that you will take home if you win the Chili Bowl Nationals A-Main event on Saturday night. Like I said, it's just the biggest race of the year. The Knoxville Nationals, that's the biggest race for sprint cars. The Chili Bowl Nationals is the biggest race for midgets. And you'll get guys from every single form of racing, and that's what makes it so special. All the best drivers are in one building, from late models, modifieds, the regulars and the midgets, the sprint cars, the non-wing guys. All of them will take a ride, run the Chili Bowl Nationals, and they'll all be competing under the same roof. Also, it's a very fan-friendly event. You can get tickets and sit in the seats, or you can get pit passes and walk up and down and meet all of your favorite drivers, like Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Brad Sweet. Tons of big names are there, and they're all competing for the Golden Driller. And like I said, it's a very special event. Now, I have never went to the Chili Bowl before. I really want to. We're a little far away being out here in Oregon, but I definitely think next year we're gonna make the trip out and go and run it. And a lot of you guys asked, Tanner, why didn't you race the Chili Bowl this year? Well, if you guys didn't know, there is an age limit. You have to be 16 years old. I am only 15, so I don't meet that requirement. So legally, I'm not allowed to run the Chili Bowl Nationals. But next year, it's on my bucket list. The biggest race for short track racing, and I'm a more short track guy anyway. I love short track racing like Red Bluff or any little bull ring of some sort. That's what I love running. And that's definitely what Chili Bowl is. So if you've never heard of Chili Bowl, definitely check it out, look it up, watch some GoPro and some YouTube videos on it. Very special event for sure. Now on to my Chili Bowl predictions. We're gonna talk about a few things. We're gonna talk about who I think is gonna win the Golden Driller. We're gonna talk about who I think is gonna be really fast coming up through a few of these lower mains like the B and the C, and then also some rookies that have been super fast over the course of the week. So how the Chili Bowl format works is you run a prelim night earlier in the week, and then that sets you up for where you'll start on Saturday. Whether you'll be locked into the big show or a B, a C, an E, an F, a J, or a K, or an O main, it goes really far down. There's 350 entries to this event. So on the prelim night, if you finish first or second in the A, you're locked into the A main event. So you have to finish top 2. That's insane. So only 10 drivers actually lock in during the week. Everyone else will have to run a lower main event. And since they run like 60 to 70 cars on each prelim night, you have to do really good in your heat race. So if you start on the front row of your heat race, since it's all off of pill draw, then you really need to win to keep those points. But if you start dead last or 6th, you have to pass like at least 4 or 5 cars to be in a good spot for the qualifier. So every time you're on the track, you want to go forward. And then in the qualifier, you want to do the same thing. Just keep going forward, and it's all based off of passing points and finishing points. And whoever is the high point guy after the heats in the qualifier starts on the pole of the A-main event, and then that's where the top 2 lock in, and those guys are locked into the A-main on Saturday. So the point system, it's kind of complicated, but for some reason I'm able to kind of have a grasp and understand it. So the 10 drivers, those guys are locked into tonight's A-main event. They're gonna also run a pole shuffle, and that'll see where they start. Logan Seavey, he drew first last night and he got the 1, so he will start no worse than 2nd. He's on the front row no matter what of tonight's A-main event. And that leads me into my predictions. Who do I think is gonna win the A-main event tonight? Well, if I were to just look off of stats and how the week is gone, KKM has won 4 out of the 5 prelim nights. That's insane. It just shows a test to really how good those guys are, and they make it look so easy. To me, if I had never ever seen racing and didn't know who KKM was at all, if I just showed up to the Chili Bowl and I watched those guys, I would think whoever's in the KKM car is just gonna be fast, because their cars are so top notch, their setups are so dialed in, and it's just like they're better than the whole field. And those guys are really doing a good job, and they have some wheelmans behind the wheel. So Logan Seavey won Monday night, Kyle Larson won Tuesday, Rico won Wednesday, and Christopher Bell won Thursday. And then Friday night was not won by a KKM driver. It was won by another outlaw kart kid, Justin Grant. Which that is also something worth mentioning. So 5 of the 10 drivers that are locked in tonight's A-main event all come from the same racetrack in Northern California. Cycleland Speedway and the Red Bluff Outlaws. They all started in outlaw karts. That is Logan Seavey, Rico Abreu, Kyle Larson, Tanner Thorson, and Justin Grant. Both of them raced at both of those racetracks, and that's their grassroots. That's where they came from, Outlaw Karts. So that's making the whole Outlaw Kart community proud and everyone at QRC Karts. We're pretty happy about it. So that's super cool for the Outlaw Kart community, and I'm pumped that all of them back there are representing well. Now on to my predictions. Okay, so who do I think is going to win? Well, after telling you that KKM won 4 out of the 5 nights, I would bet money that one of the KKM drivers wins. Whether that's Bell, that's Larson, that's Logan, or Rico. One of the guys that I think is going to get it done this year, I'm really thinking Larson. He's got to be so hungry. He has been so close. Last year he blew up with like, I think less than 10 laps to go. He's been up front before and spun out or made a mistake. So I think maybe this might just be his year, but he's got to go through Christopher Bell and Logan Seavey and Rico Abreu to do it. So that's my pick. Definitely one of the KKM cars I think is going to get it done. They're just so good at what they do, and those drivers just, they don't make mistakes, and that's really what it comes down to. Doesn't matter even if the car behind them is just as fast as them. If they never make a mistake, it's really, really hard to get around them. So Logan's going to be fast, Rico's going to be fast, Bell's going to be fast, Larson's going to be fast. It's really hard to just pick one of them because I know they're all going to put on a show, but let's just say my Chili Bowl prediction is just one of those 4 KKM drivers. But if I had to pick one, I think I would go with Kyle Larson. I think he's so hungry for that win, and I would really like to see him get it done, but I would like to see any of those 4 get it done because I'm also really rooting for Logan Seavey, because I mean it's his 3rd ever Chili Bowl and he's really, really fast, and he's going to start on the front row. So we'll just kind of see what it comes down to. I'm going to watch the 55 lap A main tonight. Now my next prediction I want to make, if I could not pick KKM drivers, if you excluded those 4 drivers and said, Tanner, you have to pick someone else in the field to win. The other guy who looks really, really fast is Justin Grant. He won the Friday night feature last night. He was super, super fast. And the other guy I would also pick is Tanner Thorson. He finished 2nd to Justin Grant. It was a 25 lap A main event. It went green the whole way. They were in and out of lap traffic, and it was some really, really good racing. Those guys look the strongest, though, besides the KKM cars. Tanner Thorson won the Vyrock Race of Champions. I think it was on Tuesday night. And Justin, he's always fast. I think he's won the last 3 preliminary nights on Friday night. So the last 3 years, he's won 3 features on Friday. So besides the KKM cars, Tanner Thorson, Justin Grant, they look very, very strong, and I definitely think they'll give them a run for their money. I'm not saying KKM has it wrapped up by any means, but I mean, just by the looks of their cars and how fast they are, they're looking very, very strong. And now to talk about some rookies who have been thriving throughout the week, my buddy Jesse Caldwell. He's in a B feature tonight. If he can just advance a few positions, he can lock himself into the A main event, which is huge. This is his 2nd ever Chili Bowl. It's kind of hard to even count his first Chili Bowl because I don't think he was in very good equipment, and it was kind of just a big disaster. But anyway, he hops in a KKM car after winning the KKM Give Back Classic and is doing amazing. Ran 8th on his preliminary night, and like Keith Coons tweeted, this kid's just the real deal. So watch out for Jesse tonight. He's going to be fast. Some other rookies are Zeb Wise. He'll be really good. I think he's also in a B feature. But there are also some other pretty good rookies right in there with Zeb and Jesse, and they're all going to be trying to make their way towards the feature. Another guy in the B main event who I thought was really, really fast on his prelim night and had a shot at, it was Christopher Bell. He had a shot at Christopher Bell with CJ Leary. He was unbelievably fast. I think he charged from right around 6th or 8th and was able to drive it up to right at the end of the podium in 3rd. And he threw some sliders with Shane Golobic for 2nd. And if there's anyone who I thought really had a good shot at Christopher Bell, it was CJ Leary. So he's going to be starting up front of his B main event. If he can just easily transfer to the feature, try to stay out of trouble and keep his nose clean, he is going to be a guy who I think is going to come through the field tonight. But really, anything can happen in tonight's A main event. I'm going to be tuned in and excited to watch and see what happens. Even though I really think the KKM guys are going to be tough to beat, everyone that makes Saturday night's A main event, they all are just fast. Anyone can win, whether you start last or whether you start on the pole. There's guys like Shane Golobic, Zach Daum, some of the others guys that finished 2nd, and also Brady Bacon, David Gravel. Hats off to the FMR racing team. Those guys are really, really fast. They also locked in, even though I really think these KKM guys are going to be good, all the drivers that start 6th through 10th, they have just as good of a shot as winning as well because they were fast enough to lock in. And those are my 2019 Chili Bowl Nationals predictions. It's really hard to just pick one driver that you think is going to win. I mean, because there's so many good guys out there. I mean, you have Rico and Swindell, you have Larson and Bell.
Rico, it's Waddell, it's Larson and Bell, it's a roar of the top row routes.
But just so many good drivers in tonight's A main event, and really everyone has a shot. But part of me really wants to see Kyle Larson finally win a driller. He's been so close, and he's either spun out or blown up, or he's got beaten by Christopher Bell. So it's really tough. I want the guy to win, but really I'd be happy if any of those 4 KKM drivers win. I'll be happy for whoever wins, and I'm really hoping Logan does good from the pole too. He's got a great shot at tonight's driller. And then we'll see if Jesse Caldwell can drive through tonight's B main event and lock into his first ever Chili Bowl Nationals A. I'm really pumped for that kid. He's a good friend of mine, and he's really helped me out a lot in racing, just giving me tips. He's such a good driver, and he's so smooth and smart at what he does. So I'm really hoping for the best for him tonight too. But anyway, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share. Before we go, let me know in the comments section down below, who do you think is going to win? And then give me some input, why you think he's going to win, or who you're going to be looking out for tonight watching. Anyway, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Deuces.